The fall of King Agbana. In the heart of the Niger Delta, where mangroves whispered secrets to the tides, there was a kingdom called Akpoloma. It was a land rich in oil and fish, home to the Ijaw people, whose songs carried the weight of ancient tales. But under King Agbana's rule, the kingdom's harmony unraveled. Agbana was not always wicked. As a young prince, he was beloved for his wisdom and courage. But when he ascended the throne, the taste of power poisoned his soul. He imposed crippling taxes on the fisherfolk, seized lands from the elders, and sold the kingdom's resources to foreign merchants, pocketing the wealth. His court was a den of sycophants who feared his wrath. Anyone who dared question him was imprisoned or mysteriously disappeared. The people's suffering became legend, told in hushed voices around fires, while the creeks brimmed with tears and rebellion. Among the oppressed was Ajimi, a young woman whose father had been executed for resisting the king's tax collectors. Ajimi was a daughter of the tides, raised by the river's rhythms and the wisdom of the elders. She was fiery and fearless, her voice a beacon of hope for the downtrodden. One moonless night, as the king feasted in his gilded palace, Ajimi gathered the youth of Akpoloma by the great Iroko tree. They called themselves the Kim, the wave, vowing to wash away the tyranny that had engulfed their land. Armed with courage and the knowledge of the creeks, they began their resistance. The Kim disrupted the king's trade, ambushed his tax collectors, and left messages of defiance painted on the walls of the palace. The once mighty Agbana grew paranoid, retreating deeper into his fortress, yet his cruelty only deepened. He ordered the destruction of villages suspected of harboring the rebels. But the tides were turning. One fateful evening, Ajimi led the Kim on a daring mission. Disguised as traders, they entered the palace with gifts of gold and spices. When the guards let down their defenses, the rebels struck. A fierce battle ensued, the sound of clashing swords and war cries echoing through the night. Ajimi confronted Agbana in his throne room, where the king clung to a golden staff, his face a mask of fear. "You have ruled with greed and blood, but the spirits of our ancestors will not be silenced," she declared. The fight was swift and brutal. Ajimi's blade struck true, ending the reign of the wicked king. As dawn broke, the people of Akpoloma gathered in the square, their cries of joy mingling with the morning breeze. Ajimi refused the throne, choosing instead to rebuild her village and restore the harmony of her people. The story of the king became a song passed down through generations, a reminder that even the strongest tide can be turned by the courage of the oppressed. And so, the Ijaw people reclaimed their land, their spirits unbroken, their voices free.